Did you know that they didn't really have a dad in the first Ouija, the second Ouija? Anyway,
Oh, you're
into the
breaking
movie
out.
review.
Your audio is
Yeah,
breaking out. They didn't really have a dad. What?
they didn't have a dad in the first Ouija movie. He died in the origin of evil. And that brings us into our movie review because I'm skipping past a lot because I didn't time,
Yeah,
and we got to get going.
yeah. That was
Yeah,
good. That was
yeah.
good.
You know what I
Okay,
would have done?
bring us in.
No,
Retro review.
retro review time.
I would
All
have.
right,
I
so
would have
this
said.
week,
Speaking of summoning things,
speaking
you
about
can
summoning things, yeah,
you can summon
could
things
have,
with a
but
Ouija board.
I went with something that was completely unrelated, just like every other, so it fit
Just
the
edit all that
scheme.
other stuff out and use that.
No,
Start out by saying, "Speaking of
I
summoning," and then
wanted
just
to
cut the
not
rest
relate to shit.
out.
I wanted to not relate to shit, just like all the others did.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So, anyway, yeah, in this retro movie review, we're doing Ouija, Origin of Evil, which, if nobody's familiar with this series of sorts, I wouldn't say series, there's only really two as of now, but they definitely open up the possibility to three. But I'm in the middle, man. You know that. Anyway, see, there's the interruption that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we gotta love fucking kids.
No context
Fucking,
necessary.
yep.
I mean, only a few types of people like that, and they usually end up in jail. And then when people find out that they like doing that, they kill them.
Sorry, I missed out what you were saying. Anyway, I'm just gonna brush past that anyway because I want to get out of here. Sorry to fuck this whole ending up,
No.
but
I'm with you. Let's do it.
it's already almost 6:30. His timeline's almost up, and I gotta go start dinner.
What's that mean? Is that a threat?
So this is a no. What? No! Don't cancel me. I didn't do anything. I don't have an OnlyFans. Uh, so shit. I don't. I lost my train of thought because my little kid. Anyway, so Ouija Origin of Evil. It's the second one in the series. It's a prequel to the first one that came out in 2015. It was created in 2016, I believe. And honestly, did you have a chance to watch it, Pat? Did you get a chance to watch it all?
I did, yes. I did not
Okay,
rewatch the first one, but I did watch Origin of Evil.
good. I know we have to sell Arlie on it, or at least try to sell him on it because he's
Well, it's the
scared of
type of
haunting
movie.
niche movies.
Yeah, it's the type of movie that he's scared of, so he definitely wouldn't watch it. I don't think there's any way to sell him on it.
That's a good one too.
You,
Honestly, it
you can
starts
probably
off
sell me on it.
okay.
All right.
Well, it starts off in a somewhat small town, a very religious town, it seems. Uh, the mom is the daughter of what used to be a fortune teller, who she thought was just full of shit, to put it bluntly, and yet carried it on anyway to try to support bills due to her husband's untimely passing, which is why there's no dad in that movie. And she ropes in her daughter when she starts getting contacted by the spirits after finding a Ouija board in the house.
Well, that's not. That's not. She buys the Ouija board because the daughter went to a party at a friend's house and they had a Ouija board, and she was telling her mom about it and said maybe we can incorporate it into our act. So she went and bought one
Am I
from the
misremembering that?
store. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. You know what? I'm mixing up the first one and the second one.
Hmm.
Although there's reasons why, as we
Well,
come
I
to find
assume
out
you haven't
later.
rewatched it. You just watched it that time whenever you suggested it because you had just watched it, right? So it's been a minute
Yeah.
since you
Yeah.
watched
I
it.
have, yeah. It's been a little bit, but either way, so they bring forth what they believe to be the spirit of their dad, and she proves it to her mother and her sibling, her sister, that she is contacting the other side. And little do they know that they're not contacting the dad, but the prior spirits in the house. So I don't know if you want to touch down on it, Pat. Tell me what you thought about it all. I don't want to give away too much because I don't want to spoil the ending. I think it was a good ending. I will
Yeah, I
give a
mean, what
recommendation
happens
which
in the
to
end
watch.
is good. I think that the ending was a little lackluster for me, but not like what happened. I don't know if that makes sense. But I think that it was setting up a really good vibe, and then all of a sudden I noticed I was three-quarters through the movie, and I was like, oh, like I felt like I was entertained the whole time, but not like it wasn't like scary for a long time, a long portion of the movie. They didn't
It
really go
wasn't.
for a lot of scares.
No, they didn't. Honestly, what they went for was like the psychological aspect of it, like the creepy ambiance of it. I think
And they
is
were
what
setting up a decent vibe.
they
I
did.
enjoy
I
I
feel like they
enjoyed the
did.
movie overall, but I think there was some acting that was a little on the weak side, not all of it, but some. Um and I thought that yeah, I just thought that it wasn't that scary. They could have done more for scares. But again, they were setting up psychological. It just seemed to take a long time to set it up, but they were setting it up nicely.
Yeah, and I know
It
whose
took a while.
acting you were talking about. You're talking about this. Let's face it. We know.
The what? You
I
cut
know.
out.
Oh man, am I now? I'm cutting out shit.
Just the
All right.
audio.
I said. Or maybe it's this. Hold on. Turn that fan. I said that we all know whose acting you were, and it's the daughters, the sister, the older sister's acting.
The youngest one.
You think the youngest sister? I don't know. I thought she played a good. I thought
I
she did
thought
good at being possessed, because it
I
clearly
thought
like
she was
she
good at that stuff,
changed
but everything
midway.
that's not that, I thought she was a little stale.
Well, see,
Um,
that's the weird part, right? That's the part, right? She was supposed to be like that kind of outcast to begin with, and then her mother roped her into the fortune telling after after the spirit came into the house, and she started contacting the
oh,
spirit in
her
the
mom
house.
didn't necessarily rope her in. I'll refresh you again just because I just watched it
No,
today.
I would say she roped her in. That's me saying that because I
Well, I mean,
feel
I
like
guess
she
she
took
brought it
advantage
to
of
the
it.
house.
She did.
She
She
set
took
the
advantage
Ouija
of her
board up
daughter.
after she bought it. She set it up in a completely different room. The daughters were in their bedroom. She was in the room where they do the readings. So she set it up and she was like, is there a spirit here? And then in the other room, the youngest daughter just kind of looked up and was like, yes. And then in the other room, the mom was like, what is your name? It was like she was just practicing these questions though. But the girl was answering them all because like in that moment, that's kind of when it started happening.
Yeah, but I meant later, like when her
Oh
daughter
yeah,
actually
yeah.
came in,
Because she
she
had
roped
that
her
gift.
into it because she could. Yeah,
She had
that's what I
that
meant.
gift.
Yeah, the gift. Yeah, but that's what I meant by roping. I feel like her character changed then. In the beginning, I mean, you can't really say that it didn't change due to that.
Oh, it
You got
definitely
to think
changed,
about
but I
the
just think
idea of the
that
little kid
it
being
had a reason to change
contacted.
anyway. But I think she was pretty stale most of the time. When she was full out possessed, that was good. Oh,
I don't know. I feel
and
like
this is kind of a spoiler, but kind of not because we already know that there's a sequel to this because of the first
yeah,
Ouija. But at the very end, there's a doctor looking through a window, and then the camera pans, and you see. I assume it was,
it
but it
was
was
the
a demon or
sister.
whatever standing on the
No,
ceiling and walking over to him. But she did this funny little scatter over to it. I thought that was pretty funny, but that's the
it
last thing
was
you see.
it was the sister. It was
Yeah,
the
I
actual
figured that.
sister.
I just didn't want to spoil that.
Oh fuck it. We already. If we're gonna add context, I want to make it look like I know what I'm talking about. I
Oh, wait, yes,
honestly,
yes, it was, it was. But I thought that the movement they had her make towards the doctor
it's like
was funny.
it was definitely hilarious. The double take when he was like, he's like, oh, that's weird. He turned around and then like that little waddle, like
Yeah,
up from the
that
ceiling.
fast waddle over to yeah, along the
Yeah,
ceiling.
yeah.
That was pretty funny. I mean, I thought
I
that the
say,
visuals were good. Like whenever the demon was grabbing the older sister, whenever the younger sister's mouth came all open wide. Like I thought it looked
yeah.
good. I don't know what the
I thought
budget
it
was
was
or
interesting
anything, but
how.
and I'm also not picky on effects at all, so you can get away with bad effects on me, and I'll still think they look good.
No, I honestly I thought it was interesting the way they handled the possession when he possesses her 100%. The way she figured out like that she was being used, right? If I could use that word. because it was like she was being used. At first, it seemed like she was on the side of him, and then it kind of got dark and weird and spacey. And even the older sister started to recognize the change. I'm blanking on. I can't remember if she started noticing after she was fully possessed. But how she became fully possessed was, I think, a really good way to see. Couldn't see the demon or the spirit himself until she looked into the mirror, and then by that time it was
Or
too
through
late.
that
Essentially,
through the viewing hole of the
the
Ouija
viewing hole,
board, right?
but not only, but remember the way she did it. She looked through the viewing hole of the Ouija. What was that piece? I forget what the piece was called.
Yeah,
I
I can't
forget. It
remember what
was
it's called.
started with an S. I know that it was like Spella or something like that. Anyway, when she looked through it, she had to look through it at a mirror to see what was behind her
Oh,
because every time she looked to her left and right, the spirit would try to hide behind her. So, being a little bit intuitive, she was like, okay, let me kind of surprise this motherfucker by looking at him in the mirror. Freaked her out, realized it wasn't her dad, and that's when
They
from
cut it
there,
out a lot.
uh, I don't know what you guys heard and didn't hear.
I'm kind of following it, but that's just because I've seen the movie.
Okay. Well, can you reiterate it then so I don't have to? I don't want to reiterate it
Well,
and then I get
I
cut
mean,
out
like I
and then
said,
I have to do it again.
for the most part, but you said the demon was trying to hide behind her, so she couldn't see it, and she had to look into the mirror. And I wanted to bring up though that the priest, when he came over, I thought it was cool that they didn't do your standard exorcism scene in it. Um,
Yeah.
and I thought, and the priest worked at the school, and he came and he did a reading because the older sister tuned him in on there's something going on. So he came to get a reading so he could see the situation, and he outsmarted the demon in a way. That's how he figured out that she was possessed, and it was a really cool way of doing that too. And also, and this is a big spoiler, but I thought the priest was going to ride it out to the end, but he bites it pretty quickly after he gets
No.
involved.
I was so sad about that. I was,
Yeah, he
but
seemed like a good guy.
he's a phenomenal actor. To switch gears now that because I don't want to give it away. Oh, but I know we have to. I don't know. Should we do a rating scale on this one since it really was only the two of us this time? Should we go forego the typical rating?
You
I
can
think it's
still
still
rate
rated
it.
out of 10. I think it's still rated out of 10.
All right, I out of a 10, I give it a me personally, I give it a 7.5. People that don't know that, watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I don't have anything funny to tag on at the end, but I will say that on an enjoyment level, I enjoyed it. I would mark it high there, but overall, as a movie, because it took so long to really get going, I think because I didn't like the ending that much, I would probably say like 5, like
Don't
pretty
forget
pretty
though,
mid. But I enjoyed it.
they were shoehorned in though. Don't forget that. They were shoehorned into the ending because of the original.
Okay,
Remember
I mean
that.
that's
So you
that's
got to remember that too. So they had to set it up that way to make sense for the original or
maybe
for
I'll
the
bump it up
first
to
one.
5.5. I can say that anything I've ever heard of people talking about this movie, they think it's trash, and I don't get that. It's definitely not trash. I don't know.
It,
I'm not a
if
deep
you
diver into
watch,
these type of things to look into the writing and stuff like that, but that's why when something sticks out to me about bad writing, I'm like, this movie sucks because I noticed it, and I don't usually. So
see
I didn't
what
notice
I
any problems with the writing.
see what I liked about it, and like I said, I don't want to give away detail, but if I was to recommend to watch this, I kind of liked the idea of watching Origin of Evil first and then Ouija the first one, and not just
Hmm.
because of the timeline's sake, but because, and I know this is probably a giveaway for the first Ouija movie, but I liked the setup that they had in the first one. If you remember, if you, I know you said you to watch
Refresh
the
me,
first
yeah, because
one.
I haven't watched it in a while.
So in the first one, the the kids get a Ouija board and they're trying to contact, or I should say, it starts out with another owner in the house, right? And they start out as little kids and they're just having fun at her friend's house outside of the main house that the the origin took place in, right? It started out as a friend's house, and they played Ouija as kids and asked it a bunch of, silly questions that normal little girls would ask. Cut to about 12 years later or something like that, or 8 years. Uh, they're growing up. She still grew up. She's in the same house, and she went to go clean out the attic, and they find the original Ouija board that took place in the original movie, which is why I said I thought that it came from the house, because that's what happened in the
Okay, yeah.
first one. So I got that detail mixed up. And they tried to incinerate the board
Yeah.
for the
They
detail
definitely
that
had
we
one of
left
those
out.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to incinerate the board and it just kept coming back,
Yeah.
which they also did again in the original as well. But so cut to like 8 years later, they're teenagers in college. They're or not college, in high school. They're seniors, and I believe like they're on their way next year. And she went to go clean out her attic, and she found an old Ouija board in the attic from the previous owner. Now, she didn't know that this was a haunted place and that there were spirits laying dormant there for years. So when she picked the Ouija board back up and she played alone, which is against the rules, there are rules to Ouija. You don't play alone. You always say goodbye. And that way the spirits, you can disconnect from the spirit world. So, but this Ouija board doesn't allow you to disconnect. That's the catch. So she opens the gate to the spirit world again, and it takes over slowly, and the spirit makes her essentially kill herself. And that's how that's like the first like 5 minutes to 10 minutes of the first movie. And then from there, it's her friends that take over the Ouija movie and or take over for the rest of the movie. And
I
I
did
know
just remember something from Origin of Evil that may be considered bad writing. Because again, I don't know how deep we want to go into spoilers, but you remember what
I'm
the
going
ghost or
spoilers.
what the okay. So the demon or person or whatever that was possessing the youngest daughter,
Yeah, there
apparently the
was
guy that used to own the house used to
be a
kill
doctor.
people, torture people, and he's got like just a bunch of skeletons and stuff all inside the walls and in the basement and stuff like that. So it was these spirits of the people that he killed. But
Yeah,
but I
they
just
did
started
change
thinking about
that.
it, and I'm like, why are they trying to kill all these innocent people? But I guess there could just be mad because they got killed and they were innocent people. But it seems
Not
like
only
that
that,
doesn't.
not only that, but they did change something which I didn't know until the first one, which I feel like that's where I'm saying the bad writing came from. And I tried to overlook it because I was trying to do it from a different perspective. Like they thought that if you mix it correctly, you could see where it took place. So in the origin, they say that it was a doctor from World War II, right? It was like a German who fled the country and came over here and did experiments and killed people and basically put their bodies behind a wall. And it was basically a burial ground, which is why the place was haunted in the first place. And spirits were uneasy and not at rest, which is where they all came from. And the doctor's spirit stayed in the house. In the original, though, it used to be a fortune teller's room. That's where the fortune teller's room used to be. Now, where people might say like it's bad writing, in my opinion, what I think happened is they took what happened in that house in the origin of evil and put it towards that's why that spirit that house was originally haunted, and the old story or the original story was forgotten about the evil doctor. I think they purposely got it twisted because in the original movie, if you don't remember, the sister that's in the mental institution at the very end, for spoilers, like I said, we're spoiling it all. Let's just spoil it all the way. The sister that got put in the mental institution this
Are you
and hitters.
are you reviewing the other movie now?
No, not intentionally. Not intentionally. But it goes into why the story seemed like it was off. Because there was one issue with the second one that people point to a lot that I could tell. And and this is why I think they point to it though. And they don't consider the first one. And they don't think about the origin of evil and the fact that the mom and the grandmother were fortune tellers. I think that history got overwritten in the first movie, and that's all people thought about. Can I ask what you guys are doing, please?
This is all over the. How do you stab my head with it?
The staple should have been given to your mom. Please go out there, guys. I'm not done. Thank you. I love you guys.
So if you had to, though, would you rather watch the Origin of Evil or the original one?
Sorry. I think you can't watch one without the other, in my opinion. And that's why I think the storytelling was a little weak. It seemed, but once you watch it as a group, I think it fits in perfectly. And I'll try to wrap it up so it's not too long, like I wanted it to be in the first place. So, in the second one, all of the fortune teller stuff is now in that secret back room instead of the doctor's supplies. And in the original, the sister, the older sister, to avoid getting killed or continuously haunted by the little sister, lied for the little sister and told the new group of teenagers in the first movie, aka the sequel or pre or whatever, told her that it was the mom that they had to be worried about, protect her from the sister. And that's why I think everything got pushed into that room. Everything was hidden. Now by who, I don't know. And I think that's where the third one's going to come into play. But I'm not sure exactly. But we'll see later in time.
Well, I'll just
But
say that if you just take this movie by itself, you don't have that issue. There's no conflict with it if you just take it by itself.
if you
So
take
bad
Origin
writing
of
because
Evil,
they were supposed to make it sync up and they didn't, but by itself, it's fine.
I think so. Yeah, I feel like that is.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Nazis hiding bodies,
Mhm.
would you rather have to kiss every person you meet or never kiss your partner again?
Oh man.
Every person. I don't want to kiss every person.
When you say kiss, like, do you mean like kiss them on the lips, or could I kiss any part of their body? I'm not allowed to kiss them at all.
Does it have to be a specific kind of kiss?
I'll say however you kiss your partner is how you would have to kiss them, because it's talking about also kissing your partner.
Hmm.
Okay. So if I'm allowed to kiss other parts of her, I'll go with.
Is that how
I'll
you
go with.
kiss her all the time, though?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather not ever
Well,
be.
we'll take it
kiss
back
my
to
girl.
we'll take it back to the '90s lingo. You're laying the Mac down on them.
Okay. Okay. The reason I ask is because if it's like you can never kiss your girlfriend again, or you have to kiss everybody, I'd rather just never kiss my girlfriend on the lips again.
It just says
Here's-
never kiss your partner again.
It does seem
See,
like you get in a lot less trouble going with that one. So
yeah.
I'd
Is
have
there
to go with that
consequences
one.
for kissing everybody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you rather date somebody who your family loves and your friends despise, or who your friends love and your family despise?
Mm, that's a tough one. Yes, in my current situation, mine sees my family more than my friends, so I guess I would have to say family loves her, friends
That's
despise
kind of
her.
where I'm leaning. So that's where I'm kind of leaning towards too, because I'm like I rarely see my friends, so I'd have to. I agree with Pat. I go with that answer too. I'd rather my family like her and my friends despise her.
Real quick, we didn't pick our next review, but Casey, you have to decide the category,
Oh
and then
God,
Arlie is your pick.
did we do suspense? I wouldn't mind doing like a suspense or a thriller or horror. I'm running out of like subcategories here because we've done B movies, we've done comedy,
Yeah, I guess we could just
sci-fi, we've
shout out at this
done
point. We could just shout out
haunting.
movies if you guys want. It's Arlie's turn, but he can just shout out a movie, a horror movie.
Yeah, Fuck it. At this
It can
point,
be
yeah,
suspense, it
let's
can be
get rid of
thriller, but
genres.
in that realm.
We could do it with the horror suspense type thing. And I am gonna go with The Strangers.
Ugh. All right.
None of us like
Finally
it,
have a movie that I'm going to give a really low score to.
but I bring that up
I
because
give it a one lackluster stabbing at the end there.
there's a new
Fucking
Strangers movie coming out.
Oh yeah,
Supposed to be
I've seen a review of the second one, and the second one looks terrible. What was the? How many are there? Is there only two out right now?
There's two, and then this one
I've
is
seen
like
a
a
review of
prequel.
the second one, and it was terrible. A long, in-depth review where they show you clips as they go from the whole movie, and it was terrible. Way worse than the first one.
I'm not gonna pick that. I know all of us hate it.
Like,
All
if
right.
you started it, like, Liv Tyler ruined that movie because she flips out so quick before she knows anything is wrong. We know something's wrong, but she didn't know that in the movie, and she's hiding in her room yelling, "Leave me alone!" And she doesn't know anything's wrong yet. And I did, though, like that time I woke up in the middle of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I woke up after that part, and I'm like, it's not bad. The ending still sucks, and it ruins it. But yeah, her acting and she didn't bother me as much when I started after that initial freak out.
So it is just
Weak sauce. All right, what's your pick, Harley?
Uh,
The Strangers 2.
Electric
Yes.
Boogaloo. I'm looking up horror thrillers just to. How do you guys feel about Brightburn? Because that's a horror thriller.
I loved it. It was actually really good.
It's listing a wide range of movies that are like horror thrillers.
Well, because most of them are. You can pretty much name any one that you want to. Is there just one that you've been wanting to do?
Scary Movie 3. Oh, okay. For a second, I just typed in the genre and I was like, Scary Movie 3 is not a thriller. What the fuck?
I already know what I'm going to pick for this one, so.
Okay.
And I don't think you guys have seen it, so you should. It'll be a treat for you.
So I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm going to assume you have. I've seen it and it's good, and it's under this category. But Terrifier.
Oh, I have not. I've been wanting an excuse to watch that, so yeah, this will be exciting.
Terrifying. Okay.
Have you seen that one, Casey?
No.
All right.
I'm looking them up now. I'm looking up different.
It'll be a treat.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to sorry, I was looking at the list. I watched The Babadook.
You what?
I watched The Babadook.
Uh-huh.
It was not. It was okay. It was.
I think that there was a lot. I think it was good, but I think there was a lot.
Weirdly.
It was like a thinker or whatever. Like, I liked it more after I watched like ending of Babadook Explained or whatever. You know, like I liked it more after that.
Really?
And I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So yeah, it flew over my head. I do that sometimes now. If I don't understand it, I'll watch it. Sometimes I'll watch it anyway. Like I did with Hereditary, and I'm glad I did because I did not understand it the way that they wanted me to. But it was fantastic. I liked it anyway. But when I got the explanation, I was like, holy crap. All right, we got one or two more quick hitters before we wrap it up.
Would you rather nobody showed up to your wedding or nobody shows up to your funeral?
I'd rather nobody showed up at my wedding because I fucking hate.
Because you what? You cut out again.
God damn it! It's got to be because of the fucking fan, man. I swear to God, I said I would rather nobody show up to my.
You keep cutting
you
out.
Cut out at the exact same spot again.
I do it as soon as I saw the. And like now, it keeps. It's cutting out like a motherfucker.
I think it's your cord, not the fan.
Yeah, clearly. I got to get new headphones, I guess, next week. I said I would rather nobody show up to my wedding because I fucking hate weddings.
Oh.
I know.
I guess I would
Blockbuster
say.
after that.
I guess I don't know which way to go. I guess I would say funeral because I won't be there to witness it.
That's what I would do. I'm not around.
Trust me, it's
I
wedding.
wouldn't know.
Says the person who barely had a wedding. That's what I'm talking about.
That's because I had
Wedding.
to have people there to sign witness papers. So I can't say I would not want to have anybody at the wedding because I had to have them there to sign the papers.
Okay, but I forgot about that, I suppose.
I was gonna go with wedding because I got married at a courthouse, but again, I had to have people there. So
I forgot that. Yeah, well, I forgot about that aspect of it. Yeah, well, let me know how you feel after your first divorce, okay, pal? I know what to say. And to bring it back together.
I'll keep you posted.
That's why the
So,
divorce.
just for anybody that doesn't know, I'm going through a divorce.
For anybody that doesn't know, yeah. And I share a room with my oldest son, who stinks like ass.
Would you
All right, one more.
rather? Would you rather lose all of your friends and family but win the lottery, or keep your friends and family but you never get a raise again for the rest of your life?
I'd rather win the
When it says
lottery.
family, does that mean my wife and my son as well?
All I'll say all family, all of it.
I'll win the lottery.
It's just you.
I'll take the lottery every goddamn day.
That's a tough one.
hate being
Never
poor.
get a raise again. Yeah, I'll go with that because I can always just quit and then start a new job whenever the minimum wage goes higher or whatever, and then I'll be guaranteed X amount. So I don't think that counts as a raise. I think that's a loophole, but I'm gonna go with that.
That's a good one. I go with lottery. I looked at the loopholes. I said, "Fuck the loopholes."
Nice.
I want money.
guess I'm gone too, huh? Wait, does that when it says lose, that mean we all die, or you just like we all vanish from your life?
I'm guessing vanish from our life. I don't think it
Okay.
I don't think it means you all
Yeah,
die.
I'm still gonna go
I
with the
saw
same
my
thing.
audio cut out there for a second. I wasn't sure if it, if it cut out, but
Would you rather be handsome but
I
stupid,
so.
or intelligent and ugly?
Handsome and stupid.
I don't know. I'd probably go with handsome and stupid. I'm already borderlining stupid anyway. I think I just passed just slightly above like the
Yeah, the only
unintelligent
thing that's
mark.
gonna change is I'll be better looking. So
Yeah.
let's do it.
These ones are just like dumb. The dumb, like, would you rather, would you rather have a mullet for a year, or be completely bald for 6 months?
Mullet.
Mullet.
I'd
That's an
go.
obvious one.
I'd go bald and just wear a hat or a beanie. I already rocked a
You
mullet.
could still do that with a mullet.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just tuck the mullet.
But I guess a
Nice.
mullet is a year and that bald is 6 months. But I've had a mullet before, so I'll go with the mullet.
The mullet's in right now. Fuck it. You know, I'd be following a trend.
That's true. But all right, do we want to announce anything for next week? Do we have anything on the agenda for next week? Does somebody want to host a game?
I'm gonna be honest, man.
I know it's going to be a while before we get to record again, but
not that. I found out recently. I told Arlie this already. My schedule for the first month is I don't work weekends, but I do start working evenings after a couple of weeks. But I'm gonna be so fucking tired because I'm not used to. You got to remember, I haven't been in the office or anything like that for 3 years now, and apparently I'm gonna start walking like 20,000 steps a day. They said, like on average, and I'm gonna be walking through the entire hospital, so I'm gonna be burnt out, and I doubt I'm gonna want to have put together a game. So the most I can do is maybe a DDT.
okay.
And I'm still working on like how to get the game. I'm not even going to share it on air because I don't want to spoil it. But the game I talked about in our chat, I still want to find a way to get that up and going.
That'd be cool. Okay, well, if we're going in order, then or do you want to do a Duck Duck Truth next time, and then I'll do it the time after that. So we'll do that, and we'll do perfect albums.
Oh, I forgot about perfect albums.
I could save
you know what,
mine, or we could bring it up if you want, real quick.
I think it's too long right now, but we can definitely do it next time because I didn't get a chance to listen to anything, and I didn't put
Okay.
one out. So
I have a
Ooh.
perfect album. I'm ready to go with the perfect album in my opinion.
You cut out.
No, I didn't.
you did.
I did. I saw the green line though this time. I've been
It was
looking out
gone.
for it.
It was gone. No, I think we should
I
save
have a
that though. I think
perfect album.
it's too long for this week, but next show we can do that.
All right. I'll let you do the DDT, Pat.
Okay.
Harley, if you can save your perfect album till next week.
We
It
could,
cut out, didn't it? I said save it till next week.
yeah, we could save them till next week. Give each other a chance to listen to all of everyone else's pick to chime in on it.
Sounds good.
I'm just going fucking laptop quality now.
Okay.
Gotta,
Well, anybody have anything else? Because if not, I'll wrap it up.
speaking of wrapping it up, this is where we wrap it up.
And with that, this has been this edition of Welcome to Pod Time, and we will catch you on the flippity flop. Bye, brother.
Speaking about Bye Brother, did you guys know that brother derived from two different Greek words?
Nope.
I didn't know either. Bye, brother. We're out.
Right on.
All
All right, what time is
I
it?
gotta go. This went way later than I wanted to. So I'm